Hey, I'm David Powers. This is my wife, Corrine. We've been at 5 Point now for what, about a year?
Almost a year, yeah.
Yeah, almost a year. Not very long, but we finally found a church that we loved, and the kids love it, and we got plugged in quick. As a matter of fact, we were introduced to Dave Ramsey by her father before we were married, and he took us to a Dave Ramsey class, and in the middle of the class at a break, he looked at me, his future son-in-law, the guy that's going to take care of his daughter, and he said, "So what do you think about this stuff?" And I said, I don't really think it's for me. We're doing all right. And meanwhile, we were multi-thousands in student loan debt and credit cards and everything else. It was over $200,000, right, in debt.
Yes.
Not that it matters when you get that high.
$250,000.
Yeah, $250,000, over $200,000 in debt, and living in an apartment with 5 kids, and not even living in the house that we were paying for. We were losing money renting a house because we were kind of stuck with the situation. I worked as much as I could, doing a commission-only job. And we managed to get completely out of debt, sell that house, pay off the cars, student loans, credit card debts, everything. And finally, we moved all those 5 kids out of that apartment. And where we are now, what we call the farm. We've got 5 acres here and a house, and this is the only thing we owe on. All the vehicles are paid off. We've got an emergency fund. Contributing to retirement. I mean, the baby steps, we were going straight through them.
You know, we always made it work. I homeschool all of them. So we have a lot of fun with the homeschool, and we try to make everything an adventure, whether it's good or bad. Living here has been wonderful, and the saving process, we made the kids all a part of it. So just because we were going through Dave Ramsey and just because we were having those issues doesn't mean that we couldn't involve them. So we let them know where we were and what we were trying to do, and they came alongside of us and they became a part of that with us. And it's been really great.
Yeah, and we actually made the financial peace curriculum part of our homeschool.
Yes.
It's a requirement before they graduate high school from us.
Yeah. We let them watch the videos, so they all know the gazelle intensity of everything. So it's been really nice having them come alongside us through the whole process of getting here. We were stuck in Macon, Georgia for a couple of days beyond our vacation, which would have actually sunk a lot of people. Mm-hmm. But because we had followed the Dave Ramsey principles and we didn't go on vacation while we were in debt, and we went on vacation when we had that cash set aside for it, and we had that emergency fund, we didn't stress about it. Once we got to the hotel and everything, we were able to just kind of sit in it and relax and just be able to say, okay, we're here, we're safe, and we didn't worry about the financial side of it. Yep. And that was such a blessing, because once everything was done, we didn't have to worry about that. Yeah. And that was a huge blessing. And
we used our emergency fund to buy another vehicle, but once again, it was there. It was sitting in the bank account, and that would have...
was what we needed.
I mean, before financial peace and getting out of debt, I mean, catastrophic kind of stuff. I mean...
Yeah, that would have...
It would have wrecked us.
Totally wrecked us.
Yeah. We went through the program several times, actually, and got out of... This was the 3rd time we got out of debt? Mm-hmm. And each time we got back into debt, it was for things that we thought was a good reason, but to be honest with you, every single time it was basically we got off the Dave Ramsey principles. And next thing you know, we were back in debt, miserable, couldn't afford to go out and eat or anything.
Biblical principles,
yeah,
which I think are important. You know, if we had just stuck with biblical principles, which Dave Ramsey's plan is based on, I think we would have just been so much further along down the road.
Yeah.
And gotten here a lot faster.
So I would say it's a class. I mean, the worst you can do is waste a few hours. The best you can do is change your entire life and the life of your kids, your family. I mean, so you've got nothing to lose taking the class.
Yeah.